Okay. So if you see this image, okay, so it talks about the entire journey, okay, about Python, where it was started and how it got evolved and all that. Okay, even if you can go to Wikipedia, just type about history of Python, you will get all those information over there. Okay, but I'll just go through with all the important events that we need to understand here. Okay. So let's talk about the origin. So, so origin of Python. So when did it happen? It happened in late 1980 to 1991. Okay, 1980s is the uh, year when this was evolved, but it was not called Python. It was called something else. Okay, so who is the creator? Creator is Guido van Rossum. Okay, so the name you can see here, Guido van Rossum. He is the creator of Python. Okay, and if you just go Google him. Okay, so he's a person. Okay, he's a Dutch national. Okay, and I think it was invented somewhere in what is that place called Netherlands. Okay, Netherlands. I think Dutch. Yeah, Netherlands. Okay, so he's the guy. He's still 69 years, so he's still alive, and he is contributing to this Python community, okay, with various problem statement that people are looking for, and it has got a good engagement from open source community, especially. Okay, so he's the guy who invented uh, in 1980s to 1991. Okay, so while working at some university at Netherlands, he coined the term. Okay, and he started building application with the programming language. Okay, but later on, the year it started, I think it was somewhere in 1989. Okay, 1986. Yeah, 1989 is the year when they coined this term called Python. Okay, official release. They released this Python in Feb 1991. Okay, so you have all this journey mapping here. Okay, so I know little the image is distorted here and there, but whatever the points that you can uh, remember is who is the inventor, okay, when it was started, and what are the various version, and what are the other enhancement they have added to the existing application. So like I said, the first Python release was done in 1981. Okay, earlier it was called, see, this was inspired by ABC language. Okay, at that time there was a language called ABC, and that is where the inspiration came from. And this person, Van Rossum, started working on similar ground, and but he has enhanced the entire programming and improved from ABC. Okay, so there were some problem statement in ABC, and I think, uh, uh, I mean, if you go to the Python documentation, right, there it clearly says what was released in version one, and then likewise, right now, if you see the current version is 3.12. Okay, the current version of Python. So if you just type Python, okay, and if you go to your the first link, you can see here, this is the Python page, and if you see here, the current version is 3.13.5 for Windows. Okay, same goes for Mac also. Okay, Mac also, I think it's the same version. So you can, yeah. these are all pre-release beta version. Okay, so if you want to test it out, you can test it out, and you can see, first thing is first, no, you have to register to this page. Okay, whenever there is any new thing happening in the community, or a release happens, a new version, okay, you will get upfront an email that there is a new version coming up that's in beta state. If you want, you can install it and you can test it out. Okay, that is a very good. If you participate in these programs, right, you will get a good ample knowledge about the entire Python ecosystem. Okay, coming back to our this thing. So this is the, I mean, like I said, it was inspired by ABC language. Okay, and what was the intent? Okay, of Python was it should be easy to read and write. Okay, if you see the language Python, right, it is very easy, simple English statement that you will be writing, right? And see earlier programs, right? Uh, if there are any exception in a program, right? For example, you're writing a code and you're doing certain activities or certain tasks, task one, task two, task three. Okay, there are scenarios where when you run task two, it might fail, right? But you need to have a good uh, exception handling. Okay, so that was not there in earlier programming language in 80s, right? So so the intent was in Python. He started working and he was looking a capable. I mean, the Python should be capable of exception handling. Okay, and yeah, that he was added. Okay, uh, I mean, there is a keyword called try and catch. Say for example, you want to try until that PC is online, do this. Okay, so it will keep on continuously check for that PC. If that PC is online, it will do certain operation. Okay, what if that PC never comes? Okay, so it will be in an infinity loop and it will go into a deep sleep. Okay, you have all that depends on how you write your program. Okay, logic. So that try and catch was not there. Okay, for example, I mean, simple example, I can give you real time examples. You're looking for right now, you plan for a movie, right? What you'll do is you'll directly go to the theater. Okay, any theater that is nearby, and you will try, right? What if you don't get? Okay, you will, the exception is you will go to some other theater nearby, right? Similarly, in the programming language, there are some exceptions you have to handle that was not there during those time, and later on, all this was added in Python. Okay, if you see the major milestone for Python, the first version, which was released in Jan 1994. Okay, so you can see 80s is when conception. Okay, it was released by this person, and later on the first version, one Python 1.0, it was released in 1994. Okay, it introduced simple core concepts like functions, modules, exception. Okay, later on, see, whenever you see any application, right? If, for example, if you're using a WinZip today, right? WinZip, everybody is familiar, right? So WinZip 1.0. Okay, so it has some basic function. What you can do is it can pick only the document and you can zip it. Now in version 2, if you have video files, okay, it will further concise that, squeeze that entire video into a small file so that you can share it with others on internet, right? So earlier, if you just share 5 GB of file, if I want to share a video file of 5 GB, what happens? How much time it will take? It all depends on your bandwidth, right? Your router, your internet speed, and other factors, right? Similarly, so when WinZip version 2 was released, definitely they will add some additional features, okay, where users are looking for. So the best way is always register for Python. Go to the python.org and first create account, okay, with your personal. You keep on getting emails, okay. So sometimes whenever you're free, right, at your leisure time, just go and read those documentation. Okay, I know it is a very starting point for you guys. But I mean, if you start practicing that, okay, it will help you to gain good knowledge about what is happening, what is new happening. Okay, at least you can keep yourself updated with the latest content. Okay, and Python 1.4 was released in uh, 1995. Okay, likewise, this is a history. Then 1997 was 1.5. Okay, so the major milestone was released in 2000, year 2000 to 2010, where you will see I started working on Python from 2.0. Okay, 2.0 was the enhanced. Okay, it has some what is that called, garbage collection. Okay, with reference counting and other features were added. So garbage collection is nothing but whatever, whenever you run your application, see, all these are stored in your memory. Okay, now what do you mean by memory? Okay, memory is nothing but wherever, I mean, the I mean, it is your hardware, where, I mean, it is called a simple RAM. Okay, random access memory. Okay, so every device that you see on your screen displaying, right, where does it run? It runs in your memory module. Okay, so this garbage collection used to run there, and whenever you close the applications, right, and sometimes what happens, even though when your application is running, these pointers or data points or the location in your memory will be still continued to use and block those uh, areas in your memory. Okay, but with this garbage collection, whenever there is no need for any memory points, right, it will release those and it will give you back your memory, so that for other application it will be very soon. But this is a problem we had initially with Java. Okay, Java takes a lot of memory, right? It's a memory hungry application. And later on, they also came up with garbage collection. If you just type Java garbage collection, you can get those information about the programming language. Okay, and how was it? Uh, I mean, if you ask me, how was the adoption was done for Python? Okay, basically, it's a open source adoption they started, okay, initially, where um, I mean, a lot of programmers, okay, I mean, it's for the programmer community who joined Python org, and they saw with version 1 and improvised version of till version 2, and they saw a good improvement about Python and their features. Okay, and they started contributing to Python as a freelancer. Okay, even today there are a lot of developer community available in the internet who keep on adding new features to the existing programming language. Okay, and and see, and the last release, if I recall, it was 2010 when the Python 2.7 was released. Okay, and there were some there were some limitations with the Python 2. I think the last version is 2.8 or 2.7. Okay, if you go to the Python, okay, and if you go to the Chronicle, where is, yeah, here. Okay, so you can see all the list here. 2019, 2020. See, you have all the list here. Let's see. Yeah, 2.5, 2 point, I think 2.56 to, yeah, see, 2009. Okay, so they started 3.1 is the time when they have uh, added a lot of features in Python. Okay, 1 minute. I'll just go up. You should see, yeah, here also. Okay, so you can see here, whenever you see any version, right, end of life. Okay, if your application was built on 3.8, okay, and your operating system is upgraded, maybe this the application that you have built, right, it might not work because it's a EOL, okay, end of life. So what you have to ultimate do is you have to install the latest version or n minus 1. Okay, what is the previous version? 3.13, and you have to test your application whether it is working or it is failing. Okay, based on that, if it is working, then you can run on 3.13 or 3.11. Okay, so you have to always look for compatibility testing with all these versions. So you have all these versions. Okay, see yeah two, I think in 2000 they started this version 2.0. Okay, and then likewise they just maintained till 2010, 29, 2010. Okay, you can see here 2010 they started 3.12. Okay, version 3. Currently, Python 3.14 is the sorry, 3.12 is the current working version. Okay, so you have some bug fix in 3.13, 3.14. You can test it. Okay, so it will not break your PC or it will not uh, crash, right? It will not do. Only thing is whatever the applications you are working, right? It might not run. Okay, it might not load properly. Okay, so that is where you have to do the testing. Okay, and the version 3, right? Version 3 was when they released version 3, it was not backward compatibility. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, any code that you write in version 3, Python 3.0, right? If you have version, if say for example, I built an application, XYZ application, a calculator, okay, GUI application called calculator, and I'll hand it over, I'll share it with you guys. Okay, and you guys are still on Python 2.0. Okay, so what that means is when you run that application, it will say dependency not found or some error message will throw. Why? Because from 3 they stopped the backward compatibility. Okay, why that was? It was maybe some strategy by these guys Python, or they don't want to support, right? Since they are coming up with a lot of features and other enhancement to the existing, so they want to do something good for the community. And this is also called a future proof design. Okay, and version 3 is when they came up with something called a print command. Okay, print function. Okay, instead of we used to just type print with a quotation with some message that you want to print out in a display, right? So we'll see all those uh, I mean, exercise in the upcoming classes. Okay, and also it supports full Unicode support. Okay, and if I let me check if I missed anything. Python language. Yeah, this is pretty much okay. This is pretty much okay. Now, if you ask me, where all Python are used, okay. So now Python 3x is now the standard. Okay, if you see the version 3.x, it could be version 10, 11, 14, 13, whatever the current version is there. Okay, is now the standard. Okay, and with modern features. Okay, which is suitable for data science, web development, automation, AI, ML, operating system. Scheduling. Okay, you can do a lot of things with Python. There are different modules are there that you have to use for in these areas wherever you are working on. Okay, so we'll be not touching up all those things, automation, web development and all. We'll be focusing on data science. We'll be playing more with data. Okay, nothing else. Data, and then once we get hands-on, we'll move with machine learning, AI, ML. Okay, some concepts we'll learn, and then we will practice those with Python. Okay, so why Python is very popular today? Okay, I can say one point is it is clean and simple syntax. Okay, I mean it's a very easy and it's a beginners friendly. Okay, you don't have to learn, you don't have to add any command, so everything is there in your editor. So what is that editor? Editor is where you will write the Python code, right? So even if you don't recall what we need to type, you have to take help from editor. And even now the latest version has AI feature enabled, just like a chat GPT, okay, where you can search what you're looking for. Okay, it will give you the suggestion, and then you can write code, I mean, copy the syntax and put it in your code, and then you can execute. Okay, so it's very friendly. Okay, easy, uh, and version 3.0 is also very huge ecosystem. Okay, why? Because in version 3 they have added a lot of packages. Okay, packages in the sense there are some famous packages like NumPy, Pandas, TensorFlow, Django, Flask. Okay, for creating dashboards and all. I'll explain as we go along one by one. Okay, and these are the packages especially used in data science, web development, scripting, automation, and all that. Okay, and you don't have to pay not even a single penny for Python use. Okay, it's a open source and it is driven by a open source community. Okay, there are a lot of people who contribute to Python org. Okay, so this is the website. Okay, python.org. If you go, okay, you can go check on the news what's happening and all that, right? Before that, I would suggest create your account. Okay, and you can see they are asking for donate. Okay, because it's a open source, so they don't generate any revenue out of this package. Okay, it's a free of cost that these guys are giving, and they're not asking for any uh, money for using their application. Okay, it's for open community, so you can download and you can use it. Okay, like I said, see, 1991 was the first version. Okay, likewise, you can see this is order. Okay, 22 and above, 2001 and now. Okay, so there are different versions are there, but if you know the current version, that is more than enough. Okay, version 3.0, and these are some of the features that they have added: cookie management, sockets. Okay, so what are those? Okay, these are all used in web development maybe. Okay, I have not used that, but you can go here and open SSL. Okay, so this is the feature they have added from Apache License. You can just go through it and read at your leisure time to understand. Okay, nobody reads all these things, but if you are a real programmer and if you are looking to excel in this field, I would suggest whenever you get time, please go and read this documentation. This definitely helps you. Okay, it will definitely help. And you can see Python works for Windows, Linux, and Mac. Okay, no matter whatever the operating system you have, it is compatible. It is very much compatible. Okay, so you have some success stories, then community. This is the community. Okay, get involved. Okay, I'll go here and it asks sign in. Okay, sign in or register. Okay, so you can go whatever the account you want to create a new account and create a account for yourself so that you will get update news on Python. Okay, what is happening new, if there, even if there is any bug in the existing uh, version, at least you'll get to know, right? People are working and they will release some update and they will tell, please update your existing build so that you will not see that issue which you are facing. Okay. Um, so it's a open source, and what else? What else? Mm, okay. So that's pretty much, guys. Okay. That's pretty much about Python. Okay. And you can see here, these are all the basics. It's a Python is a high level interpreted, interactive, and object oriented scripting language. I'll come to this. Okay, what is interpreted language? That means when you execute any code, right, you write a simple addition. Okay, you are capturing two numbers from user. Okay, in interactive mode, and you are calculating, you're doing addition, and then you are displaying the result on your screen, right? Now, earlier what happens in C, C plus Java, first you need to compile, okay, and then you have to execute. But here you don't have to do any compilation, okay. So that is what it means, interpreted language, meaning it is executed directly by the interpreter at a runtime. Runtime is nothing but you are running and you are getting the result immediately. But in C, C++, if you have learned it during your academics, right, so if you see the difference, you have to first compile. Even if they're at compilation level, if you see any error message, right, you have to again go back and adjust your code and check the syntax, and then you have to run it again, okay. So this approach is similar to languages like Perl and PHP, okay. So PHP is also interpreter, interpreted language, so you don't have, it will say, it saves, basically it saves time, okay. It is interactive, okay. So what does that mean? You have different tool sets. There are different tool sets like Visual Source Code, then Anaconda, okay. We will be using Anaconda, so I'll walk you through how to install and how to set up your environment, okay. That is very important, okay. You
So,
can,
Suren,
yeah.
just a question. The it's priorly compiled, requiring prior compilation. It doesn't require prior compilation, which means there won't be any error checks, is what you're saying.
No, no. When you are doing your, when you run your application, that
Hmm.
environment is already there on your application, in your, sorry, in your operating system. That will be checked, okay. But in previous languages, like I said, C, C++, Java, you have two steps. First compile and then execute. Here, you do only one thing, is execute. And during execution only, if there is any error in your code, it will throw there, okay. And you can correct it, and then again you can run it, and it should work, okay, after you correct your code. But there, it used to take some time in compilation. And also you need to have the environment, okay. Now if I say environment, what does that mean? Okay, for example, if you are building a Python application, just like a calculator, okay. I'll just bring up the calculator, okay. This is the calculator, okay. So this is the calculator. Just assume this is a GUI application that you have built on Python. Okay. Same and functionality when you press when you press 7 plus 4. Okay. And when you hit the A is equal to, you get the result here. Okay. Just assume this is built on Python. Okay. And when you port this application on multiple operating systems, okay, what are those operating systems? Suppose you have built on Windows. Now you want to port it on Linux and Mac, Mac OS. Okay, so what we need minimum is it should have a Python virtual machine. Okay, that is nothing but Python runtime environment should be installed, so that when you run that file, exe or whatever the file, okay, it should recognize it's a Python, and it will immediately load in your on your screen, on your display. Okay, if you're missing that runtime environment, okay, it will throw an error, not found or not able to launch the application. Okay, now these type of runtime applications are available in .NET and Java also. Java, sorry, we call it Java Virtual Machine. Okay, JVM, Java Virtual Machine, Java Machine. Okay. Now, what is Java virtual machine? Is a virtual machine that enables a computer to run Java programs. Simple. You built an application in Java programming language, and if you want to run on 100 PCs, just make sure before you launch that application, the Java virtual machine application should be installed. It's a just a requirement. Okay, if you want to run something, you need to have this. Simple. Okay, even on your mobile phones. Okay, so if something you have built on Android, you want to run it in iOS, if it is a Python or if it is what is that called, Java or other language, right? Just make sure the dependency file should be installed to execute those applications. Similarly, we have something called Python virtual machine. Okay, Python virtual machine. Okay, so it's a virtual machine is crucial component of Python runtime environment. It executes Python bytecode. Okay, whatever the application you created, it will understand what that application is and it will load into memory, and that is where if it is a GUI application you can see on your screen. Okay, otherwise it will say virtual machine not found. Okay, so we'll see all these things case by case when we are working on hands-on. Okay, so how do you create? There are a lot of good videos. Okay, basically I would suggest, right, since you are starting from basics, right, whenever you get time, all these jargons, right, virtual machine, you get a very good YouTube videos. Okay, what is Python virtual machine? So you need to have that. Okay, now how do I know if the virtual machine is installed or not? Okay, if I go to my add remove program, okay, if I type Python. Okay. Okay. I don't have Python. I have something called Anaconda. Okay. So you can see in bracket 3.12.7. Okay. So Anaconda is a editor that I'm using. When you download this, Python is included within this Anaconda application, and that is where it is installed. Okay. So the JVM also, sorry, the Python virtual machine PVM is also installed along with this package only. So you don't have to install anything additional. Okay, it's one go. Earlier we used to do different packages we used to install for to make to execute to run those applications earlier. I'm talking about Windows 7. Okay, Windows XP, if you recall, uh, earlier version of Windows, I mean, we had XP, then Windows 8, then Windows 7, and then Windows 8, and then Windows 10. Okay, currently Windows 11 is a running operating system. Okay, so when Microsoft releases, what he is doing is smartly he is including the .NET framework. Okay, yeah, .NET framework is for Windows native. Okay, if you type .NET Framework, what is .NET Framework is a Windows only version for .NET for building client and server applications. Simple. If you are building any application in Windows native programming language like Visual Studio or other application, right? You need to have a .NET Framework already preloaded. Then only that application will work. Okay. And if you go to add remove, I should have .NET. If I scroll down, you can see here. Okay, Visual C redistribute. These are all the frameworks that are already loaded. Who? Microsoft. Okay, so I'm not installing this. These are coming. See Windows Desktop Runtime. These are all coming by from Microsoft. Okay, you can see the increment. Okay, these are all the version, right? 10, 8, 10, 8, 11, 8, 14. Okay, x86 is 32-bit, x64 is 64-bit. Uh, Supports programs. Okay, so these are all the framework are predefined, are required. Okay, but these are the all basics we should be knowing. Okay, framework. Okay, virtual machines and how does the runtime happens. Runtime is nothing but when you execute something, it executes immediately. For example, if I want to launch this uh, calculator or some application. Okay, for example, yeah, I'll open this. You see, this is running. If the .NET framework is not there for this application, right, in the operating system, it will not launch. It will say module missing or some or the other message I'll get to see on my screen that something is missing. The environment that it needs, maybe it is missing on my laptop. Okay, maybe I need those frameworks. Okay, so I can go to the internet or download. Okay, if it is your enterprise environment, you can ask the admin team to push those applications so that you can uh, seamlessly open those applications. So right now, if you see with Windows 11, Python, .NET, Java, these three runtimes are, included within the operating system. You don't have to worry about it. Even if you don't have the JVM or the PVM, the Python virtual machine files loaded on your device, if I give you some exe file that I have created in Python, it will still run because that is there in the operating system. You don't have to load separately. So earlier were the days when we used to manage all those what do you call the requirements for applications. Okay, so like I said, Python is interactive, very interactive. Okay, so I mean it's easy to write, easy to debug your code. Okay, and uh, and you have two ways. One is the command line interface to write and test code interactively with the interpreter. Okay, we'll see all these things when we get hands-on tomorrow with the tool. Okay, and it also follows the object oriented programming. Okay, so what is object oriented? It is a way where developer will create or design their application. For example, if I want to create an application called vehicle. Okay, so what is the class, sorry, four wheeler. Okay, what is the class? Okay, I will use something called vehicle class, and every vehicle will have some or the other functionality. Okay, if I ask you four wheeler, what are the functionality that you see? Okay, you can drive, you can apply brake, you can change clutch, you can apply gears, right? If it is automatic, you have to just use pedals to one is accelerator and brake, and you have the steering where you can turn left, right, straight, right? So these are all the functionality. Okay, so when you get some task, okay, you have to convert that into the object oriented way, okay, in a flow chart, and then you have to create diagrams. Okay, is nothing but it's called entity relation. Okay, so that is very important, so that what happens is you can create your application properly. Okay, Python is also regarded as the ideal language for beginners. Okay, this is very famous and very what do you call famous for beginners. Okay, even nowadays in colleges and in engineering, Python is being taught. Okay, as one of these subject in their computer science courses. Okay, and you can create a wide range of application from text processing tools, web browser to games, anything. Okay, it all depends on how you take it up and you learn. Okay, now what are the key features? Okay, now key features are easy to learn. It's a simple and readable syntax. Okay, the syntax are very simple. Okay, you will get used to it. Okay, so once you start writing your small programs, okay, very small baby steps, okay, you will get used to it. Okay, but see, without practicing, I would say you will not get anything. Please get your hands dirty by practicing. I know you will end up getting errors and all. That is where I mean the challenge comes in. By fixing those, you will get good hands on. Okay, and you have a lot of ample resources. You just take Google, Chat GPT, you go to Python or documentation. See, the good habit about anything that you're learning, first thing first is documentation. Okay, so beginner's guide. Okay, documentation is very important. I keep reading. Okay, okay, so see, you can see here are some of the sites focus on beginners and offer in-browser coding. Okay, you don't need anything. Okay, so you can see these are all the free codes that you can go, like the DataCamp, DataQuest. I use this one for data science. Okay, DataCamp. It's a non-free but very useful, and it has a good what you call content is very rich. Okay, wherever you see free LabX. Okay, LabX is also very good, but you'll not get Python and all. You just get the environment, but only to practice. Okay, so this is JNP interactive exercise, free open source, no ads. Okay, so see, these are the information that you will get. Okay, so if you click on this, okay, so how to learn Python, why learn Python, why this tutorial. Okay, so you have something called here. So these are all paid. Okay, these are all for sale. Fundamentals and all. See, whatever I'm teaching, you're gonna get it by paying how much? $32. Okay, 32 means how much? Today is 86. 8 to just 16. 1600 you have to shell out to get this course. Okay, in INR. Okay, so you have a lot of good material outside. I learned from documentation. Most of the time, whenever I am free, I'll just go and watch. See, you can see why learn Python, where it is used, web development. I just mentioned, right? Data analysis, data science, machine learning, AI, scripting and tool for automations. Okay, so you have a good, very good, up-to-date content here. Okay, this is a little bit about the history, why, how this name was derived. Okay, so it was Guido Van Rossum named it after the BBC television show called Monty's Python's Flying Circus. Okay, so from here you pick up this Python word and you will find that Python books, code examples, and documentation, more reference. Okay, so he how it was named is from this show, BBC television. Okay, so he named Python for his programming language, and that is where it is now very famous. Okay, it is even now today it is used widely in all the data science engagement. Okay, see, you have everything. 1991, 94, what happened? Version 1, 2, 3. Okay, currently is 3 end of life is done. Now version 3, version 2 versus 3. Okay, you can just go through it when you get some time. Okay, now you can see what is the interactive. I was talking about interactive mode, right? So this is the interactive mode. Okay, so you'll get like a command prompt, just like a command prompt on your Windows or terminal on your Mac. Okay, and this is how you're gonna see. Okay, there are different tools are available that you can make use of it. Okay, so if I want to say hello world, right? If I want to print again, if I want to say hello world will be printed. Okay, you're gonna learn all these things when you get hands-on with your programming language. Okay, so just I mean what I want to say is I mean just bookmark all these important links that will help you in learning these topics. Okay, you have a lot. Okay, you have a lot of things, and this is the forum where people are looking. Okay, so you get, if you have any query, if you have an account, you can post your questions here. Okay, now what is the next is how do you install a Python? Okay, so you have step by step, you can just follow. Okay, so you have all these resources, you can just bookmark whenever you see something is missing or something you want more detail, right? So you can go refer at your own pace. Okay, see whatever I have added in my PPT, most of the things I have added. Okay, so I know people don't want or don't have time to go through learning all these things. They want ready-made, right? So ready-made is what I'll show you one by one. Okay, different environment, the installation, setup, and all. So tomorrow we'll do the setup and all. Okay. Now I'll just finish this. I mean this one and this one and this one. Okay. Setup we'll do it tomorrow. Okay. So don't worry about the setup. So we'll just focus on key features. Okay, so like I said, easy to learn, interpreted, no need for compilation, runs directly, but it saves time. Okay, what is the take here? Okay, if you compile and do it, it might take some time. Okay, here it just runs immediately. So the program that you have written, right, it gets into the bytecode and it gets interpreted, and whatever the results that it needs to display on your screen, the results will come on your screen. Okay, dynamically type, no need to define variables, types explicitly. What is variables? Okay, now in simple term, I'll give you one classic example is if you pick up a glass, okay, from your kitchen, right? What you can store in that glass liquid, right? You can pour water, you can store it, right? And you can also store solid item like some grains and all that, right? and semi-liquid also you can keep it there. Okay, so now what is variable? Okay, variable is nothing but it's a storage, okay, where you will store data types. Okay, for example, I want to store name. Okay, name is a variable, and if I say name is equal to Rupa, equal to Sai, equal to XYZ, so what I'm storing a string there. Okay, so different types we will go through. Okay, so don't worry, we have all in depth. Okay, each I have curated all this content in such a way that I'm covering everything right from basics. Okay, so no need to define variable. If I say n is equal to 4, okay, now what is n? N is a numeric type. Okay, if I say n is equal to 3.14, what is n? N is a float type. Okay, if you see, we will brush up all mathematics. Okay, and we have good content also on statistics. Okay, so you will be learning statistics. Data science is built on statistics. Okay, so it's a very powerful language. I know uh, we studied somewhere in your academics, I think ninth or 10th statistics, and then people who moved or picked up a different stream during your graduation, right? Even nowadays, I think there is a stream called BSc Data Science, BSc Statistics is there. I heard in some news, right? So they are covering the in and out of statistics, and which is very powerful language. People earlier they ignored statistics will be no use, but now it is very famous. Okay, very famous. Even if you go to some job search and all, right, you just type statistician. Okay, you will get ample, that too in uh, good MNCs, multinational companies, okay, IT companies and all, because now they know the importance of these, subject, and now they are recruiting, okay, because data is everywhere. Like I said, data is a next oil, okay, for any company, okay. They are dependent on data for decision making, okay. So we called it as data driven decision. Okay, so if there is an, if the data is not properly formatted, what you can do, you cannot take any decision, right? It takes a lot of time for decision making, and even if you take some decision, sometimes it might go in the wrong direction. Okay, that will cost you more money to spend on fixing all those areas. Okay, and these are some of the libraries. Okay, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. Okay, Pandas is used for data manipulation. NumPy is for numeric operation. Okay, Matplotlib is for building out beautiful uh, graphs. Okay, like bar chart, a pie chart, and all that. There is one more called Seaborn. Okay, Seaborn is also very good. Okay, but this just I have added the three, four. Okay, but we have a lot. Okay, as we get along, okay, you're gonna learn all those packages, libraries that are available, and it's a cross platform. Okay, so once you run your code, right, whatever the code you build it, you send it to me or I send it to you guys. No matter if you have a Linux, if you have a Mac, or if you have a Windows, it will run that application. It's called cross platform. These are the terminologies, okay, that you should be knowing. Okay, why use Python? Easy to use. Okay, and the support is from open source, large community support. Okay, so if there are any bugs in the existing framework or the package, okay, you have, if you have an account, I mean, best practices, go report it there. Hey guys, I've installed the latest version. I'm seeing my application is not performing as expected, seeing some these issues. Okay, and then they will acknowledge and they will say we will look into it, and they'll ask some error message to upload screenshot and all. So once you upload, they will start working on it, and they will fix and they will update. That is what I have seen. There was one issue uh, that I have reported, and yeah, they have updated me. So that you have to. I was writing a wrong syntax actually, so they guided me that the syntax was incorrect. So if you call this like this, it should, and it worked. It helped me. Okay, so that is the best part of the community. So always create a community. I mean, make your login in that community, and you will get good ample information from there. Okay, and now you can see where all Python are used. Web automation, data science, AI, ML. AI stands for artificial intelligence, machine learning. Okay, cyber security, and more. You name. I mean, even if you see the lifts that we use in office or home, right? Lifts. Okay, even in lift, Python. Earlier it was Java, but right now, since Python is more versatile, they started including into the embedded system. These are called embedded system lifts. When you press down up, the lift comes, right? So who is doing that? Python. Internally the Python is running in those chips. Okay, so that is giving the command for the lift carrier to come up, down, whichever floor you instruct him to come. Okay, that is embedded. Even embedded, you can do that. Okay, and you have a strong library support. Comes within. These are the very famous NumPy. Okay, NumPy pandas for data analysis. These are very famous. You do any course on data, you have to learn these. Okay, once you start learning, okay, you'll get hands-on automatically. And next one is integration and scalability. Okay, now this Python, whatever the language you are writing, right, you can also integrate with other language like C, Java, or scaled for large application, enterprise application. I'm talking about the enterprise. See, even if you know these two language, Java and C, whatever the program you're liking, you can call in C or Java also. Okay, there are some compatibility option are available within Python where you can call C or Java program also. Clear, guys? Slide 5. Okay. Now this is again talking about the same thing where all you're gonna use this Python web development, the Django, Pyramid, Bottle. These are the names. So I mean, I don't. I mean, when you pronounce all these things, right? It will be funny. Bottle. What is bottle? Okay, but there is a package that is available for web development. You can create a nice UI. Okay, so Flask is very famous. You can use for dashboards. Whatever the data you're working on, you can create your dashboards and you can build those nice UI look when you are presenting to your leaders or your customer. Okay, GUI. What is GUI? GUI stands for graphical user interface. Okay, now I just opened what is that called calculator. That is a GUI application. I can interact with that. Okay, if it is a CUI, command line utility, what happens is I have to type the command. Okay, for example, if I want to check the date, okay, if I want to check the date, I'll say date. Okay, so current date is this Tuesday 17, blah blah blah. Okay, and what is that time? See, I'm typing everything here. What if I want to go GUI application and check all those things? Okay, on the right hand side, if you see, you have a date and time. Okay, you click on it, you get your date and time details, everything, right? So this is a GUI. Okay, so we call GUI and CLI. Okay, CLI is something where you will interact with the system, okay, to get some result. This is CUI, this is GUI. Okay, these are all the packages are available like tkinter, uh, pygo object, pyg object, okay, pyqt, pysci, kiwi, wx python, dear pygui. Okay, these are all famous. Okay, I have not used except this one for building some application. Small practice I was doing, tkinter. Okay, and scientific and numeric, you have SciPy, Pandas, and IPython. Okay, so you can use this. And software development, you can use BuildBot, Track, Roundup. And for system administration, you can use Ansible. You might have heard Ansible, Salt, OpenStack, Nosh. Okay, these are some of the applications that I can think of that you can use in the system administration. Okay, these are all built on Python. Okay, so you will see the GUI and all like a web browser, and from there you will give a task to your operating system what to do, what system command you want to run, and all on multiple systems you can do that. Okay, now what's the time, guys? 9:34. Okay, I think we are on the top of the hour. So anybody has any question before we hung up? Understood, or is it something you are looking for more in depth or something? Or this is good, the content? Yes, no,
It's good, Suren.
it's good. Okay, thank you, Swati. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll again we'll connect tomorrow, same time, 8:30 to 9:30. Okay, and we'll continue with the next topics. Okay, which is installation. Okay, so this is where you're gonna get into the in-depth. Okay, now we will install all those versions, how we're gonna do. So we have a lot of IDEs. We call this IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Okay, so we have VS Code. This is lightweight, and actually this is from Microsoft free of cost. Okay, PyCharm. Okay, this is for professional development. Okay, and this is Jupyter Notebook, ideal for data science and visualization. Google Colab is also there, where if you have any Gmail account, personal account, okay, you can use this Google Colab also. You don't have to pay not even a single penny. It's free of cost. Okay, it all depends what you want to use. So we'll be using Jupyter Notebook, which is very famous out in the market. So you need to understand the each and every feature in Jupyter, and Jupyter is a part of Anaconda installation. Okay, we'll see that tomorrow. And just make sure, I'm assuming everybody has a Windows operating system. If anybody has Mac, let me know. I will show the installation on Mac also. I have a Mac, so I need to connect that device also tomorrow, so that I can share how the installation looks like on Mac and how do you launch that application. These are the two things that we're gonna look at tomorrow. Okay, then we'll see the environment setup and all that. Okay, it will be very interesting. Okay, and then we'll do our start our first program. Okay, simple print statement. So this is the agenda for tomorrow. Okay, and tomorrow is Wednesday, right? Okay. I'll tell you whether we'll have a class on Thursday or not, because like I said, we'll have 4 days. Friday is entirely for you guys to practice whatever we are learning all these 4 days. Okay, take some time in the evening, practice, and see if you see any error, or if you are not able to do a few things. Okay, you can send me those screenshot in a one-to-one chat. I will see if there are some environment issue or something. I'll guide you how to do that. Okay, but practice is must, guys. Okay, without practice, I'm telling you, will not go anywhere. Okay, chalo guys, I think we are on top of the earth. 9:37. It's late for you guys also. Enjoy your day, and we'll meet tomorrow. Okay, bye guys. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Suren.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
night.
Thanks, Suren.